Hey y'all, welcome back to this week's installment of AMA Friday with Amy Miller, Recruiting and Yoga Pants. So this week, we're going to talk about something that might be a smidge controversial. I don't know. The ones I think are gonna fall very flat and be really crappy videos, you guys seem to like the best. So this could go either way. I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna go. However, this has been on my mind since I started this whole series, and I wanted to tackle it and just haven't been quite sure where to start. So we'll just start at the beginning. All right, there's a lot of advice, career coaches, thought leaders, seminar producers, and a lot of information out there about how to land your dream job, how to whether it's cracking the interview code or getting hired without ever applying online. Can I just say, just very quick caveat to that. I am a fan of networking, and I have provided endless amounts of information about how to network effectively. But if you think a big company is going to be able to make you an offer without your information being uploaded into the ATS, color me skeptical, okay? So let's stop making applying online or the ATS the enemy, and let's think of them exactly what they are. A mechanism to move you through the process. That's it. All right, a little bit of a tangent there, but it needed to be said. So all of these experts, all of these professionals, all of these people who are apparently way smarter than you or I have somehow monetized some of this activity. And they have actually said, you know, hey, for the low price of a few $100, come in here, I'll teach you, blah, 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 blah. Here's the thing. There's no secret handshake. There just isn't. That does not mean that there's not room for good interview prep. That does not mean that there are not resources that are worth every penny that you should invest in. In fact, I will actually put in the pinned comments some links to a few people that I like, respect, and trust, and who I would recommend buy their book, buy their training, material, whatever. I definitely have a few of those in mind. I think also resume writers is another one. I think if you have the means to invest in a well-done, professionally written resume, awesome. I got a couple people I could refer you to if that's something you want to explore. But here's the bigger idea of this week, right? All of these people, or all of these salesmen and women, are trying to sell you something in an effort to land your dream job. We hear those words all the time. I'm going to get you your dream job. I'm going to help get you to the front of the line at your dream company, those kinds of things. What I don't hear people talking about is defining the dream. How many of you have taken a minute to sit back and say, okay, forget about the company name, forget about the logo, forget about the free food, forget about all that other stuff. What is my dream? How can I possibly pursue my dream job if I haven't yet defined what the dream means to me? So that is what I want you to focus on today, my friends. All right, I want you to grab a piece of paper and a pen. We're gonna walk through this exercise together. All right, you ready? I've got my handy dandy whiteboard. You know how much I love this thing. Use it every day. Thanks, Amazon, for shipping it so quickly. Pre-pandemic, of course. All right. When you're thinking about your dream job, again, erase the company name from your mind. I don't want to talk about companies. I want to talk about the work you're going to do that lights you up. All right? Are we ready for this? I'll go first. So my dream, first and foremost, the most important thing to me in my dream job is, let's see here, if I can read my own handwriting or spell. There we go. Okay. You won't be able to read it because it's really messy. Solving business problems through talent. Okay. I have something similar to this in my LinkedIn profile. That's kind of my tagline. The reason this matters to me and why this is my dream is because I want to be able to see the effect, the impact on the company of the people that I'm bringing to the company. I want to be able to point to a new hire and say, I brought that person here and I see the impact of the work that they did. I see how this solves a problem for the company. This is, sometimes harder to do in bigger companies, to be frank. Look, I'm not going to kid you. I've definitely been in big companies where I was a cog in the wheel and just, kind of churning out hires. That's okay. There's room for that kind of recruiting, but it's not the kind of recruiting that lights me up. It's not what I get out of bed and I'm super energized to do every day. So being able to look at how my hires are impacting the business is critical for me. So that's number one. What's your number one? You got it? Because we're moving on to number two now. All right, let's go. So the second thing that's really important to me, and again, I'm looking at this through the lens of a recruiter. What do I want to do? What is my dream? You're writing down your dream. I am really bad at spelling. And I was a 7th grade spelling bee champ, so this is kind of embarrassing. Okay. So I would say the second thing on my list, I want to be setting the strategy. I want to have a seat at the table, a voice, however you want to word it. Insert funny, quip here. I want to be part of setting how we're going to solve this problem. What our recruiting efforts going to look like? How are we aligning our recruiting and sourcing talent to the open roles or to prospective positions? How are we pipelining, passive candidates? There's a lot of stuff beyond just filling an open role. So I want to make sure that I'm part of that conversation. That's so important to me, to have this 30,000 foot view and be able to make recommendations and talk about how we're going to establish a recruiting strategy. So that's really important to me. And then finally, the third thing that I'm really passionate about and that I need in my dream job, I like coaching. I am not anybody's boss, but I do mentor outside of my company. I do have a few folks that I have regular one-on-ones with, and then I also am working with my friend Rob, and I actually mentor his team. He's got a very large team, I don't know, like 35 or something, recruiters and sourcers and recruiting professionals on his team, that about once a quarter I do like a training presentation or something with them. So there are opportunities for me to do that externally, which is great. I want that to be recognized and valued inside as well. I want an opportunity to help bring up the next generation of recruiters and sourcers and really tap into those baby recruiters and help them get where they want to go career-wise. So those are the things that are important to me. And the reason why this is so important to define. The dream job may not exist at your so-called dream company. I'm not saying it doesn't, especially if we're talking about FANG. Look, been there, done that, got a bunch of t-shirts, okay? There are amazing opportunities in FANG. There are amazing opportunities in startups. There are amazing opportunities in nonprofits and small companies. But if you are getting distracted by the shiny, you might miss out. You might make hiring decisions or offer decisions based on the wrong criteria, and then find yourself unhappy because your list is not being considered. The work that lights you up, if you are not having an opportunity to do that, your job satisfaction is going to diminish. If your job satisfaction is diminishing, your productivity is probably going to diminish. And when that starts diminishing, guess what else starts diminishing? Your credibility, your bonus potential, and your growth. Not every job is easy. Not every job is going to be rainbows and lollipops every day. I understand. Parts of our jobs are going to be really hard and really messy and really uncomfortable. But if you focus on the dream, if you identify the dream, if you put those non-negotiables in your mind, I will not accept a role that does not allow me to X. You're going to be a lot happier for it, I promise you. And if you stop focusing on the shiny, doesn't mean you can't explore FAANG. I love a good FAANG company, obviously, because I keep working for them. However, focus on the dream, think about what's important to you, then translate that into the right role at the right place at the right time. I would love to hear your 3-item dream list. Send me an email, amy@recruitinginYogaPants.com. Drop it in the comments if you're willing to share with the class. Would love to hear what's important to you and where you think you can find that dream job. Let me know, comment, email, call me up, follow me on Twitter. Let's talk about it. Let's establish the dream. We'll see you next week.